video, I'm going through the sports that are statistically the hardest to make it to the pros in. I don't think any of these will come as too much of a surprise. Bowling, darts, and Quidditch didn't make the cut, though feel free to yell at me in the comments if you think they should have. However, you may be surprised where the various sports rank and just how incredibly difficult it is to make it from Little League to the big leagues. Number 5. Ice hockey. If you enjoy the majesty of gliding over the ice and the thrill of smashing into other adults, you might want to pursue a career in hockey. But with a 1 in 598 or 0.17% shot at glory in the NHL, it's an uphill skate to stardom. Hockey isn't exactly an easy sport either. Players need a combination of nimble athleticism and a ravenous hunger to inflict pain on anyone wearing a different jersey. Out of over 35,000 high school hockey players, only 11% will go on to compete in college, and only about 270 of those fortunate few make it to the professional level. Number 4. Baseball. Baseball is one of the most popular sports for children to play and fans to watch. And here's an interesting fact. If you attend a professional baseball game, you actually have a better chance of being drafted by your favorite professional team, 1 in 659 or 0.15%, than you do of catching a foul ball, which is 1 in 835 or 0.12%. So, there's always a chance. But even if you made it to the collegiate level and were eligible to be drafted to the MLB, only 28% of those skilled athletes are selected to play at the next level. Next, we have what many consider America's favorite pastime. Number 3. Football. The gridiron is no place for the weak or cowardly. It's the fast-paced, hard-hitting game of football. Players know to expect pain. Needless to say, it's not for everyone. But even if you do think you'd fancy playing in the NFL, your odds aren't great. Statistically, you have a better chance of a meteorite hitting you in the head, 1 in 3,200, when you're sitting on the couch watching football than you do of actually playing professional football, 1 in 4,233 or just 0.02%. Still, over 1 million high school players sign up for football every year despite the punishment it entails. But those fortunate enough to play college ball and become eligible for the pros have no guarantees to making the professional league. In 2019, only 3.8% of draft-eligible players were chosen to play in the NFL. While the road from Pop Warner football to college ball is narrow, entry to the world of professional football is close to impossible. Number 2. Soccer. Soccer is the most watched sport in the world. In 2018, 3.6 billion people, over half of the entire global population over the age of 3, tuned in and watched the FIFA World Cup. It's also one of the most played sports on the planet. In 2019, FIFA reported 128,983 total global soccer players. But how challenging is it to play professionally? With only a 1 in 5,768 or 0.017% chance of making it pro, soccer sits at number 2 on my list as one of the most challenging sports to play on the professional level. Players must train vigorously their entire lives if they want a chance to kick around a ball for more than just fun. Of course, if they do make it to the big stage, they could be rewarded handsomely. In fact, 3 out of the top 5 paid athletes in the world are soccer players. Despite this, soccer is no match for the sport ranked as not only the most difficult sport to play professionally, but, not surprisingly, the sport that makes the most money. Think you have a good guess? I'll give you a hint. It's a long shot. Number 1. Basketball. Okay, that was a layup. 2 points for you. But there is nothing simple about entering the world of professional basketball. Close to 1 million high school students play basketball, around 541,000 men and 433,000 women. Less than 4% of them will go on to play college basketball. Overall, basketball players have a 1 in 12,363 or 0.008% chance of dribbling their way into the pros. Statistically speaking, both men and women stand a practically identical chance of playing professional basketball, though it's slightly more difficult for women. 1 in 11,711 or 0.009% for men, 1 in 13,015 or 0.008% for women. But given that pro basketball players sign some of the biggest deals, both in terms of player contracts and endorsements, I'd say it's probably worth all the hard work. So, what do you think? Is my math off? Are there other sports that should have made the list? Or one you think will be there in the near future? Feel free to let me know in the comments.